In the back of Lord Montagu's Bentley, I'm finding out what it's been like for people in open cars for the last 6 weeks. Windy, very windy.
Absolutely fantastic scenery this morning. Just reminds me of an early autumn hunting morning in England, except for the fact that I can consistently smell petrol, which really rather takes it away from it all. But apart from that, absolutely gorgeous views, wonderful weather. Certainly feels like autumn. Apparently it's snowing where we're going tonight and it's 3 degrees. But there we are. Will we see you again? Remember, 3 degrees, sorry. I was wondering who she was referring to then, but never mind. I think that's quite funny for us. It probably is.
A free lunch. We're being feted a bit at a car maker's place. Our road warriors can unwind, and I can reflect on my time amongst these motoring men and their dream machines.
I've had nearly 6 weeks now to decide what I think about this motoring business. I'm quite clear that I'm not a rally buff. All that pursuit of minutes and seconds is absolutely not for me. As for the cars, am I a car buff? Well, there are certainly 1 or 2 cars I would like very much to have, but I don't think I've got it too badly. We've stopped today here at Maranello, which is Ferrari. Apparently they make some sort of car. And of course all the real car buffs are salivating.
Salivating?
Phil, are you salivating?
No, I don't think so, am I? I just had a very nice free meal, which should have cost us 28,000 somethings.
But Ferraris?
Pardon?
Ferraris, not
Ferraris?
for you?
Ferraris, don't they make tractors? Along with Lamborghini.
This is the smallest one.
Ok.
We bought the t-shirts, got the sticker for the car, but this is the real point of the exercise. The Ferrari Museum. This means absolutely nothing to me. I've never heard of Maranello. I've barely heard of Ferrari. Oh, here's a yellow one.
Nice, safe colour. People can see you coming.
I like that one and that one. There's a yellow one and lots of red ones.
Boys' toys. I think you'd have to have a bit of a personality or an anatomical defect to want to own that, wouldn't you? I mean, what could you do with it? Look at this. Where would you take it? You can park it outside my house in Kentish Town, could you?
Kentish Town, North London, England. But there are a few more countries to cross yet. Today, Ferrari have given us lunch, and some of us are feeling a bit silly.
She really gives me the willies.
Does she indeed?
Yes.
Does she? Where did I know? I didn't buy her anyway. She sort of attacked me on the street.
Right.
I only like slim girls.
Almost time to hit the road. Only 2 days to go now. Then what will we travel junkies do?
When this is all over, what are you going to do?
I'm going down to Gulf Shores to my house down there. The storm about blew it away, so I'm gonna go down there for about 2 weeks and fix that house back. It blew the windows out and the sheetrock all fell off the walls and stuff. So I'm gonna go down there and do that when I get home. I've been planning that every day. I think about that. I know what I'm gonna do when I get home. I'm going to Gulf Shores and work on the house.
So that's sort of where your heart is at the moment, isn't
Oh
it?
yeah. That's. I'm ready for this to be over. I'm ready to turn the page. Get back home.
Even long ago, when we were still in China, it dawned on us that this was going to be a journey into ourselves. What do laboratory rats do if they are kept in a small space and put under stress? They get bad-tempered. What do humans do?
This ruddy Morgan is trying to push past us.
People have no manners in this rally. It's really bizarre. This lot just elbows out and away they
aren't actually speaking this afternoon. That's because he doesn't let me drive very often, and when he does, he criticises me and nags me non-stop.
We have Mr. Pushy Jaguar, then we have stone-faced Rosie and Too Cool for His Own Good Phil.
Here are the two girls who think the rally is being run entirely for their benefit. Probably isn't being.
This trip has been a rolling laboratory of human behaviour. I was startled at how mad I got with someone in my car, and I stayed angry. David Bull there heard someone praising camaraderie. Camaraderie?
Now this chap. The camaraderie is great, isn't it? I says, you must be joking. Don't you think so? I says, no, bloody don't. Some of it is, a lot of the lads are okay. But I think when it's come to the sticking lift, there's been a lot of whinging and griping. I know there's one or two crews have been at loggerheads with each other. As far as camaraderie goes, I think it's a bit limited.
It got very limited for Andy, working on a friend's car here. It got beyond just words.
We heard you had a bit of a problem today.
Yeah, I lost my cool. But, you know, that happens occasionally.
Tell us about it. What happened?
Well, John, I was coming down the road arguing. He called me on something I didn't like, so I poked him. That's about it.
Was he hurt?
Well, it hurt my hand. So, I guess it hurt him.
He hit you.
Oh yeah. He called me a stupid shit, and I called him something else.
And then?
And it's a bit of I guess you build up a lot of tensions, and with somebody for 45 days or however long it's been, it's bound to build up, and then just something triggers it. And it was stupid. It was just nothing.
He threw me out of the car, and I stood on the side of the road about an hour with my bags, and he finally came back and got me.
He pushed you out of the car?
Yeah.
He kind of said, let me out. He says, you want to get out? Okay. And he was getting out at about 120. I had to do a panic stop.
And the Bentley boys? Well, they have thrown food about at times, but now they've found a woman, they're calming down. As we speed on through Italy, the route misses a place that's worth a quick detour by train. Here in Turin is what ought to be our Holy of Holies, the Itala that won the original race from Peking to Paris. It was built for Prince Scipione Borghese, and in 1907 it was as far ahead of its time as the first moon rocket would be later. And this machine changed the world. It put the car on the map for better and for worse as the transport of the century. It crossed the trackless wastes from China to France so swiftly that Borghese was able to take it on a 500-mile diversion to have dinner with a friend and still beat all his rivals to Paris. Hats off to the Itala and Prince Borghese. They're the reason that we're on our little adventure. And how's the adventure going? The Chelsea girls in Gordon are approaching the beautiful Italian lakes, and they're still enjoying the memory of that Ferrari lunch.
Delicious. Here's Gordon, and there's our first glimpse of Lake Garda. And we're running all the way along the edge of it to get up to the Gardone Riviera, or however they say it. We are both very sleepy now. We're 2.5 hours on after our lunch, and we've been dribbling and had the music on rather loudly to keep us going. We've eaten a family-sized tube of Smarties, and I'm feeling a bit sick. And we're going to have a nap when we get there, ready for dinner. Bye. is the hotel. Well, here we are, and look what we found. A room with a view. A room with a huge view. Balcony, water, decking. Look at that. Setting sun. West Lake Garda. Absolutely delicious.
Our hotel was the sort of place where back in the 20s the first owners of some of our classier cars might have stayed. I arrived knowing that this place had inspired one of our drivers. I knew that as a boy he'd stayed here and that he used to stare out over the lake at an island. That island is said to have white peacocks and white guard dogs, and it belongs to the family of Prince Borghese. And which of our drivers was it who used to stand here gazing at the island? It was Hermann the German, seen here 6 weeks earlier in China on the huge 1907 car that was like Borghese's. A few days after this, Hermann would get pneumonia and have to quit. But here he was talking about Borghese's island, guarded by a man and a white castle.
The man has a white castle. He has white peacocks, white turtles and white dogs, and this is why the island still belongs to family Borghese, and I still was not on it. It's a dream of my life, 20 times bigger than the rally here.
So now, 6 weeks later, we're at Lake Garda. Hermann hasn't driven here from Peking as he wanted. He's out of the race and merely escorting us. But at least he is at the place where his dreams began, where he first came under the spell of Borghese's island.
If you manage to get out to the island, do you think you'll find peace of mind?
I would like to have a cup of tea in the house there. It's white, has nice arches, little castle. It's a park there. It's white peacocks and white dogs. And everything is white there. It should be very beautiful.
Do you think that would bring you peace? Try to be Borghese.
No, that's not true. I wanted to see, I'm Hermann the German. I'm not Borghese or somebody else. No, I wanted to see how it was, you know.
But when you get out to that island?
It is, no, it's only, you know, like a historian. You are searching the roots of something. What's behind, you know, what's up? And if you do it as close as possible, you know a little bit how it could have been.
Twilight came and Hermann talked on about his journey in a kind of wild poetry. He talked about freezing in the Himalayas, or the Himalayas in German, and about suffering defeat, and about trying to master his huge and ancient car.
You know, some guys during the rally said, you are acting or so, driving the car, but what fascinated me on Funkern so much is the car makes the rules. You drive the car like this. If you sit on the car, you will drive it the same way because the car makes the rules. Everybody who is looking at the car has his emotion free, and after a while you reflect it because you have to be so wild to drive the car that all your emotions can come out, and so the car makes the rule. This is simple, and that's what I like on the car. And the car, you know, in front of Himalaya, the car said, Hermann, come on, Himalaya is waiting for us. And I couldn't ride the car. I even couldn't write my name there. So I'm glad that I a little bit recovered for the Istanbul run up to here, but I still feel cold. I still have 3 pullovers. It's crazy. But
now the car is going to take you to Paris.
No, I tried to take the car to Paris. You know, you have to control the emotions of the car, otherwise you destroy it.
It was hell at Lake Garda. Mad motorists shouldn't have to endure a 5-star luxury like this. We're tough, aren't we? At least David Bull stayed worried about that noise in his axle. But Angela had a solution.
So we set off, and of course it went all the way to the Ferrari factory.
What we need is a radio so you can't hear it.
No, it's
A bit of Shirley Bassey in the background and we wouldn't even know that it was there.
Day 41 dawns well for the oldest car still in the race, Etienne Vine's 1927 Mercedes. He's had to fix the car's magneto 100 times. He's been on the phone to Mercedes about it.
We were so surprised that I immediately called Germany and say, this is a problem I don't understand. And the first answer I got is, we've never seen it before. We don't know what it is. I said, yeah, but it's happened twice already now. I saw it on the boat and I saw it this morning. And it happened after 100 kilometers. So how's it possible? And they said, in the 100-year history of Mercedes, we've never seen it before. So apparently there's something strange going on in the connection between the magneto and the dynamo. So what we did is we took the magneto, disconnect all the magneto parts from it, took another coil and run both sides of the engine on a separate coil.
Improvisation.
Improvisation. But you know, when it doesn't work, you feel awkward. When it runs, you say, hey, we found the solution again. So it's a constant struggle, but that's what it's all about.
Today should be our last full day on the road. This time, it's the road to Austria.
Just thought we'd show you this tunnel. It's of course ending now, but we might get another one afterwards. It's really spooky. Oh Lord, we're never going to get where we're going. Honestly, Italian traffic's appalling. But of course, now I've switched the video on. There's nothing to video as usual.
The rally director must be getting end-of-term madness. He's actually scheduled a stop for lunch.
Where's that soup? Oh, I can see it, I can see it. I can smell it too.
Yes, please. Brilliant. Lovely stuff.
Oh, the camera's
Thank
just
you.
They say there's snow up ahead.
Really? That's nice.
On the way up to Sonata.
Can't be that much.
They say there's quite a lot.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I've thrown my snow chains away.
Right.
Because we were too heavy.
Very good.
So it's going to be a surprise when we get up the snow.
We've come all the way from the Himalayas, and we have to get here into Austria before anything like real snow happens. They're just coming.
Ooh, those brakes. And it's Fingers Phil still in the lead and wide open.
quickly.
Rosie and Phil Bowen are getting on well today. They've got a common enemy.
Just crossed the Alberg Pass, driven through St Anton and Lech, and now we're on the way down the other side of the afternoon's TC. And we've got in front of us one of the big 1950s Fords who thinks it's clever to hog the middle of the road, not let us by. We've been behind him for about 5 Ks and there's no way he's going to pull over and let us through. It's so bloody rude.
I mean, I wouldn't mind normally, but we need the time.
We stopped back up on the top of the pass to get some pictures taken by one of the official photographers, and it took a bit of time, and this is a tight section. We've got about 50k to go and only 1 hour to do it in, which in these conditions and stuck behind this tosser is going to be a bit of a problem. It's just so inconsiderate.
I haven't got the horn doesn't work, so I can't hit the horn. Anyway, the guy who's driving, who's doing all this, upset his co-driver so much, the other guy, and they're like Alabama. I mean, it's redneck sort of country. He biffed him one, smacked him one. He's going to get a shine at the other side if he doesn't get out of the bloody way.
We think we're in Austria, but one blink and you'll miss it because Germany's coming right up. In Gordon, the Chelsea girls have changed places.
Jennifer's doing a grand job here. Considering the fact that, again, Jennifer hasn't driven this car in very many days and has just discovered why I quite often screech to a halt without any apparent reason. There are other reasons. And what are other reasons? I'm not quite sure what she means by that, which is probably a good thing. But anyway, so she's doing a grand job all in all, considering that every time she does get to drive this car, it appears to be in less than marvellous conditions. But anyway, there up ahead is Lisa Handkerchief Leggings, or whatever her name is. I can't remember her name.
In the Bull family's Rover, they've tried Angela's suggestion of curing the bad noise by playing the radio loud. It hasn't been entirely successful. Only 1 day to go to Paris now, but by late afternoon, David Bull's worries about his noise proved to be well-founded. His Rover is in trouble.
Not a big hammer, Dave.
What's it seem to be, David?
Well, it's making horrid noises from the axle somewhere. We can't work out whether it's a wheel bearing or the differential. But what we thought was noises from the other side. Couldn't be a universal joint just locking up solid, Dave. You got a big hammer, take a bit of clonk.
I don't know. Could be.
Could be a UJ. Could make terrible
noises. You don't feel
noises.
that though. It's not rumbling it out. It's just.
What do you feel when this sort of thing happens, Helen?
Well, you get a bit sort of numb, really, because everything had been going along so smooth. Well, yes, we'd known there was this, but it had been just grumbling for quite a long time. But the trouble is, I don't really know what it is, because it isn't hot. The brake isn't hot, the bearings are not hot, and so what it is that's actually wrong, they haven't really figured out what it is.
You're learning quite a lot about engineering, aren't you?
It's better than... It's one up on changing a light fuse, certainly.
So it shouldn't happen to a dog.
What's your conclusion about what all this is, David?
The wheel bearing. The wheel bearing's just, I think it's just disintegrated.
So?
Well,
we're going to go on to the next town, which isn't far away.
It's like the end of our gold medal, anyway.
And have a look at it, see if we can have it off in about 20 minutes and see if I have another bearing. If they've got, but we need a press to press it off the hub, out of the hub.
Dave, you're not supposed to have it off on the road.
When you say end of your gold medal, what does that mean exactly?
Well, we missed the time control. We haven't missed any time controls up to now. And the gold medal, you get that if you get all the time controls. So
within the time.
Yes, you've only got 2 hours from your set time to get to a time control. Otherwise, you're out of time.
And they don't stand a chance of doing it in the 2 hours.
But
no, I think positive.
No,
yes,
we might be able to.
Yes, they have.
Every
right.
chance.
Yes, they have.
Every minute spent here is time lost.
They'll need spare parts. They'll need serious help. Are they about to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory? It's Friday morning, so this must be Germany. Yesterday it was Italy and Austria. This afternoon it'll be France. The leaders are already going well, but Phil Bowen won't be along till later. He had trouble starting this morning.
Phil, how do you feel?
Tired.
It's 7:30. We've got 8:03 this morning. Should we not go?
I'll be there. In a minute.
We're at Uberlinden. It's the last day. Can't believe it's over.
The early birds are already at their first time check at the beautiful Candle Pass. Since we entered Germany, strips of black fabric have begun appearing on the cars.
Yesterday at lunchtime, the Italians gave us a dark grey black flag to put on Gordon to commemorate Josef and René Veit as we were going on into Germany. René and Josef Veit were two competitors on the rally who very unfortunately met with a tragic accident just outside Quetta on a day none of us will forget. And their deaths marred the rally for everybody, I think I can say safely. And we're now in their homeland and we're just remembering them as best we can.
A few more miles to get down out of the mountains, and then we'll cross an invisible border into Alsace, which has been part of Germany at times, but is French these days, and head for a little town called Riquewihr. The town hall is named in French, so we are in France for sure now. Into Riquewihr, a German name, with the Bentley whining and thrumming up the cobbles. The big Mercedes is having a good day, no trouble from its fickle magneto. And we've arrived at the same time as the grape harvest. Not everyone has time to spare. The tyranny of the schedule is still with us. One French competitor is glad to be on French soil.
Have you got time to stop here?
We have time to stop. We want to take time to stop, and we already have the first bottle of a new wine from France just down the road. You were just about to follow us, actually.
It looks dreadful.
You know, the priorities first. It's a new wine. It's the first juice coming out of the grapes.
What's it taste like?
Want to taste?
Yeah.
Sure.
It's a hard-working crew. It's not as bad as I thought.
Do you think you'll do it again?
I don't think it will be possible to do it again.
But if it's possible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was nice.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. We'll go back and go the other way.
Sometimes a little bit dangerous, I think.
Yes. Oh yeah, yeah.
Very. I heard about Pakistan.
Yes. Yeah.
And Balochistan.
Right. India was worse.
Oh, India also.
Yeah.
I think you have to go.
Wir werden
Okay.
das so viel Spaß machen, mitzufahren.
Bye bye. So lovely.
Bye bye, but not if you can't get into gear.
Hold on.